conventions and learning and meeting people. I think that's really important.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to meet people because, connections and networking is great, in this industry, because the more connections, the more opportunities and more jobs.
I think so, and I think most people in positions of power want to help other people get along. I think, even for those of us who have been doing this for a long time, it wasn't that many years ago, or it didn't feel like that many years ago, that we were in the same position, trying to get that first job and trying to get our foot in the door. And so I think, by and large, most people in the business want to help other people who are trying to get in. And I think that, again, the more you put yourself out there and the more willing to introduce people and engage them in conversation, and frankly, what you're doing was a technique in a way that I used. I mean, I didn't have a podcast because they didn't exist back then, but I started targeting people that I was interested in who were doing very well in the business, and I would contact them about a job, and they would say, "Oh, well, we don't have a job open right now." And I would say, "Oh, that's fine. I just want to meet you and pick your brain a little bit. If you could give me, just a cup of coffee." And almost all of them would say, "Sure, I can meet you for 20, 30 minutes." And during that time, I would ask them about themselves and how they, just like you're doing, how they got started in the business. People love to talk about themselves. So there was never any dead air, right? People were always talking, and eventually, you get around to talking about yourself and what you do, and a lot of people want to help you and can open a door for you or make an introduction or that kind of thing. So, again, I think hanging out with people in the business that you respect and that you think are very good is a really smart way to sort of extend yourself.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a great business to be in. This really is a great industry to be in, but I don't think it's for everybody. I think you do have to have a thick skin and be prepared for rejection and the word no. I know.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, as the song goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right. You do need to develop a thick skin, and even though everybody in radio has an ego, you have to learn how to keep it in check and how not to let rejection or bad days get to you. And that takes time. There's a certain discipline involved with sort of managing your personality so that, you don't get too up and you don't get too down. You kind of stay in that kind of, even-keeled position.
Yeah. Well, Fred, thank you for letting me interview you. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm glad we finally got it done,
Trey, come on. You have to admit this was probably one of the hardest ones to set up. I mean, between my travel and your travel and everything else, but I'm really glad we were able to finally connect, and I truly appreciate you reaching out to me, and I wish you nothing but the best. And if you need anything, do not hesitate to reach out to me, okay?
Thank you very much, Fred. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care, my friend. Be well.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that was Mr. Fred Jacobs. Thank you very much for listening. Join us tomorrow as we have another interview tomorrow evening when I interview. He owns 11 radio and television stations. And he's been in the business for a long time. I know he's going to share a lot of experience. Join us tomorrow when I interview Mr. Robert Streeter. Then join us Friday. We'll have a break for the next 2 days after tomorrow. But join us Friday when I interview actress Miss Holly Hawkins. You may have recognized her name a few days ago because I interviewed her husband, actor and voice actor Mr. Don Leslie. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you all.